we'll do it live.
Well, yes. Fuck it, we'll do it live. Now, all we need to do now is see, did we actually go live?
We went live. They can't see us, but I mean, of course, there's no way to.
Okay, let me look and see. Let me see if I can. Okay, let's go to the channel here. Channel. Hey, it looks like we're going.
Yeah, I can say we're going. I got JohnCon logo and everything.
Wow, that's cool. All right. Nice. Well, I don't know why it was yelling at me so much. Invalid parameters. Oh, because that's a silly YouTube thing. We don't care about YouTubes.
Invalid parameters. That's a very, very helpful error message.
Yeah, thank you for all that. Okay, so now I can get back to finishing my So I once made fun, I think, on the stream, John. So you can tell a lack of professionalism by the fact that they're completing their presentation while they're waiting for the while people are shuffling in to watch the presentation. That might be what I'm doing right now.
I mean, it's okay. We've got that kind of reputation that we can do that.
Exactly. Mobile live
I would
dashboard.
say anything less would be not reaching our fans' expectations.
Well, yeah. I mean, we wouldn't be at full potential now, would we?
No.
Oh yeah, look at that. We're even making sound on this thing. That's unacceptable. All right, hang on. All right, there we're gonna mute that, or else that's gonna be. Hey, there it is. Hi,
Hey,
Tracy. Tracy's coming to my house next week.
I'm a little jelly.
Well, next year, John. Next year, it's happening in July.
July will work.
Yep.
I mean, I voted for June, but it didn't really matter to me. I'm like, I don't really care.
Yep. So July, it's going to be actually the weekend of Belinda's birthday.
Oh, snap.
So everybody's got to sing. So if you're going to come to JohnCon next year, be prepared to sing.
I mean, I've been told my singing is much like Bismarcky crossed with a dying cat.
Yep.
But I mean, I can.
Yeah. There you go. So I'm doing. This is gonna be hard for me, John. I'm multitasking over here. I'm trying to type and to talk at the same time. So it's gonna be great. I'm doing a quick little presentation here to say what's happening on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and when people can plan on tuning into this stream in order to enjoy all that there is to offer at JohnCon, even if they can't be here. Every round, let's say, at a different brew pub. No live streaming, except is Facebook Live still a thing?
Yeah, you can still Facebook Live.
All right, so
I used to do that for my hobby streak, but I stopped when my paint camera broke. It was kind of hard. Plus, I was assembling models, and that's not exactly exciting all the time.
There you go. So we're gonna be going to Racine Brewing Company. We are going to be going to Rustic Road Brewing Company in Kenosha. And then I just want to make sure I give these guys a little bit of shout out. And then we're also going to be going to Public Brewing also in Kenosha. And then depending upon how we're feeling, if we're feeling a little saucy.
Oh, saucy.
And we're going to go to our Noggin Brewing Company.
Oh, snap. This model broke. Right. Yep. And it was it pinned? Oh no, that's just glue.
So I think we've got what we need here.
You get over here with the models need to be fixed.
That's right.
Hey, Crimson. Hey, Congo. You can change your name. I can still call you Congo.
That's Hail Boot?
Yes.
Congo. What up, dog? Very special, exciting episode tonight of the Painting with Menoth John Wednesday night extravaganza and experience.
Yeah, because everyone gonna get to choose what 40K army I play on Friday.
Oh shit!
Not Brushhead Dave is in Atlanta for Anime Weekend Atlanta, cunningly named.
There you go.
So I figured I might as well get a game in, and the other crew is playing 40K mostly right now, so I guess I'm gonna break out some 40K.
Hell yeah. Slideshow. So I don't want it like that. Why is it
I'm sure
put that
Argo's
over
gonna say
there?
I should play Kador for 40K, because that's sort of his way.
You know that, remember that army that John Madrano gave me?
Yeah.
I'm finally giving that away.
Oh, cool.
It's not gonna be a JohnCon prize, but I'm gonna give it to Travis, Dark Legacy, who's gonna use it as prize support for something.
Awesome.
And then we're gonna go ahead and he's gonna make a donation. So that's good.
Yeah, that's sweet. I probably gonna give an L Marshall everything that's not my mercenaries. He seems to be one of the guys who's still in on War Machine. So I'm not. I mean, I'll keep my mercenaries, maybe keep some other stuff that has got meaning. But I haven't even looked at anything in a while. So
yeah, I mean, I'm gonna keep the stuff that's in my display cases. Is what it boils down to.
Well, yeah, you're almost 100% painted. So I mean, you should.
I now have paint on everything.
Oh, snap.
But not everything is painted. So I'm actually
paint on everything's a start. That's better than I am.
I'm going to show some KeyForge keys that were 3D printed that I'm painting for Chuck.
Oh, that's cool.
Tonight. I should probably get something to paint and then something to drink.
I have something to drink. I'm not worried about painting.
So we're not going to hit our goal this year, I don't think, unless people just go crazy and really start donating hard during the show. But you know what? We're gonna have a hell of a good time, and every dollar that we get to the charity is a dollar we didn't have before. And we do have the advantage of so the thing about the Sunday is that we're gonna get chauffeured around by this wonderful couple that work for a local church, and they've got a 12-passenger van, and they're going to take us from brewery to brewery. But they did a Halloween kind of food drive thing, and they're donating the food to JohnCon.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so you know, it's not like a net increase over what would be donated in general, but the way I look at it, you know, hey, it's still, you know, increasing the reach a little bit, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. By the way, Spreadshirt can kiss my sorry white ass. I'm done.
Really?
Yeah, I'm done with them as an organization. I will not be using them ever again.
What did they do?
They were really. First off, I'm not super happy with the quality on the screen printing. Secondly, I didn't get like paid for the stuff. It was only ended up being like $37, and that, but I'm gonna pay for that out of my own pocket. But I'm done. They, I deleted the store. You can't even get the merch anymore. So there's like a grand total of 4 shirts in the whole world from 2019.
Well, I am disappointed that they did that.
Yeah, they're crappy. I won't be using them anymore. I'll find somewhere to make them.
Let me take a look at finance to see if I can find a way to get you the same money you would have gotten for me getting a shirt.
Oh, that's fine. I think it was like $8.
I'll see what I can do. I mean, I'm sure I can do that. I mean, if I'm not spending all the money on giant toys behind me that everyone will see when we start the true cast.
Yes, indeed.
It's bigger than me.
Outstanding. Let me just double check all the different scenes here on the show. And I need to see here how this is going to work as far as there's the media section. Brushhead Gallery. Now, if I just go like this.
Oh, God. The media section, I mean the long-awaited finale of the Fast and the Furious series, aka John likes them but would love to watch a different series of movies.
Yes. We're going to help you with that.
I did decide not to watch the Asylum classic Fast and Furious after I looked into it. It has nothing the fuck to do with cars. They're on an airplane, but there are cars in the video title because they're trying to play off the name. And that is next level bullshit. Like, Atlantic Rim was terrible, but it was what it said on the tin.
Yep.
This isn't even what it's showing on the Twitter. Like, fuck that. You can't do that.
Nope.
If you make a movie and you like show cars and shit on have cars in it. You can't left turn like that. That's not good. Unless you're taking a left turn in Albuquerque.
I should have turned left. Another friend of the show. All right, so I think what I'm going to do here is, let's see that there. Let's just go ahead and, I got to bring up the music here. Let me get the music ready to go, and then we'll go ahead and start this nonsense up.
I mean, if it wasn't for nonsense, it wouldn't have any sense at all.
That is a true statement of fact. It cannot be denied. All right, open with QuickTime Player, because for some reason I just like the way it works.
Okay, you tried VLC? It plays anything.
You know what? It's the QuickTime Player has a minimized size that I really like.
Type hands.
All right, so that's that, and then I don't know why this is being such a little biatch. Why is it so hard to see everything now all of a sudden? I gotta shrink this up. That's obvious. There we go. Now let's shrink this up. There we go. Now, see, now we're cooking, John. Now we're living the big life.
I'm living a big life every day.
This is good.
Or something like that.
All right, so I'm gonna go step away from the thing here, and I'll be back in like 2-3 minutes, and then we'll go ahead and start off the show.
Well, then I will ramble on for a couple minutes.
Yeah, I'll be right back. I'll let you know when I'm back.
Absolutely. So hope you brushheads are doing well. If you're in the chat room, say hi. I mean, Crimson 1919, Sassy, and Congo are there. And like I said, you guys are going to get to vote on my 40K armor this weekend or not. I just haven't really decided because I haven't even looked at 40K stuff aside from a model I put together recently. But I need to play something because it's been a full 2 weeks since I've played any games, and that is no bueno. I have to get out there. We didn't have any Transformers TCG night tonight because, well, not Brushhead Dave is in Atlanta. Banion, the roomie, is sick as a dog, and Bowie was not going to make it here until 6:30 Eastern, which would have given us less than an hour to play and, yes, eat dinner first. So we said, screw it, we'll just reconvene next week. We're looking forward to it because there's a new set coming out. Makes me excited. It's good to be excited about stuff again. Between that and Marvel, I mean, I'm not going to have any money in November, but there's some cool stuff coming out. Any of you guys excited for Marvel? Any of you guys still there? No one's posted since Sassy got saucy. Anyone? Am I all alone? Hey. If so, whatever. Oh, hey, Haridu. How you doing? We're just filling time until John gets back. You know, rambling about stuff and things. Find out who's excited for Marvel and who's excited for what. I mean, I think I saw a new KeyForge set came out recently or coming out soon. I'm sure John will let me know when he gets back. Maybe someone in the chat room will let me know. I don't really keep up on that. It's not my game du jour, but it is popular as heck, so good stuff. Means FFG's doing good, and FFG's doing good. It's all good, Sassy. I figured that when you said you were getting saucy. Yeah, I mean, it's good that that's doing good. FFG doing well is good for everyone because they're putting out a lot of good games. I mean, 2020 is going to be a year of Star Wars Armada, which is cool because I love that game. Still interested in Legion, though we haven't played. It's all been Malifaux mostly. Yeah, pretty much all Malifaux recently. Me and Not Brushhead Dave played a ton of games. Eventually, I may let him win a game. He'll get some good luck in spurts, but I get this.
All right, yep, I'm
just
back.
Good enough.
I'm back.
All right.
Let's go ahead and start this. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. If you're here, if you're not here, well, I can't help you. So we're gonna start the show right now. Here we go. Painting with Menoth John is presented in Super Legitivision. Super Legitivision, the future of podcasting. It's .com.
Hello, I'm
Menoth John.
and I'd like to welcome you First of all, let me take just a moment to thank you for allowing me back into your homes. If this is your first time with us, let me extend a personal invitation for you to drag out your miniatures and paint along with us each week. Let's go over to the canvas here and let's get started. I believe, every day's a good day when you paint. I believe, it'll bring a lot of good thoughts to your heart. I believe, every day's a good day when you paint. I believe, it'll bring a lot of good thoughts to your heart. Let's build a happy little cloud. Let's build some happy little trees. There are no limits here. Start out by believing here. You can almost paint with anything. All you have to do is practice.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. You have tuned in to what can only be described as one of the shows that is currently on the internet tonight. I am, of course, your host, Menoth John. You remember me from my own show. It ran for several years. It happens far more sporadically now. But remember, folks, we are back, and we're as good as we ever were, which, you know, we take our victories as one day at a time, ladies and gentlemen. Up here in the catbird seat, you know him, you love him. He is the co-host with the most, Mr. John Spencer. How the hell are you, buddy?
Hey, I am doing well. How are you doing, John?
I'm doing great. The world is my oyster these days. You know, I made a commitment to get fit in the summertime, and things are on course. You know.
Yeah, no doubt. You're like half the man I am now.
Yeah,
literally half the man.
I tipped the scales at 160.6 today.
I remember those days. Elementary school.
Yeah. So, you know, and folks, I'm not here to tell you any particular number is the right number. It has to be the right number for you.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, for me, this has worked out really good for me. I'd been taking cholesterol medicine since my late 20s, and I'm off of that, which is good. And you know, folks, I want to be here for a long time. I've got my kids to worry about. I got the beautiful and amazing Belinda Lawrence. I've got the amazing John Spencer in my life. I got, you know, dogs, cats. I got the brush heads. You know, you gotta be here for the people that you love. So take care of yourself. I guess that's the message that I've got for tonight.
Damn right.
So, we're here tonight, folks, to talk about JohnCon. You may have heard of JohnCon. John, were you aware, John, that JohnCon is coming up?
I was aware.
Yep. So, you may have seen it, and I'm going to go back here I think if I go back to the opening of the show, it's going to. Nope. Yeah, I can't do that. If I go to the opening of the show, I can't. You know, it'll screw everything up. There won't be any audio. But what I could do here is I could add an image. Folks, we're going to do this live. You know, this is how much we appreciate you, is that we are willing to take the kind of risks that you've come to know and frankly expect from the Painting with Menoth John show. And just to show you how great we are, there you go. I'm not concerned about this being actually literally over my face right now. Because you can see that it's almost like I'm there. No, I don't want to remove that. I just want to make that go away. There we go. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, coming up the 8th, 9th, and 10th. And JohnCon is, for those of you who may be new to the Painting with Menoth John experience, and let's be frank, anybody who's watching this has watched it before, John. We're not breaking in. We're not opening up a whole lot of new doors on this show. But we are going to be it's a little shindig. I like to call it a shindig that we hold at Casa John each year to benefit the Racine Food Shelter. Every dime that goes into it from the people who are attending and to the people who will donate online goes to the charity. For transparency's sake, what happens is I give the money to Walden 3 Middle School, which is the school that my sons go to, and then they take that money and they transfer to the Racine Food Shelter. And there's a competition that is involved with all the different classes, and over the last few years, the brush heads, have helped kind of put a mark on that event to the point where we have changed the dynamics of the competition in that school. And by the generosity that everyone has shown, literally we have the donations for the school have gone way up. So super excited.
Well, yeah, didn't you tell me that your boys didn't win one year because they wouldn't put like $1 or $2 from their pockets in there?
The 1 year, so I got the skinny on that. And what ends up happening is no matter how much the winning class has, there is a teacher that adds $1 more. So whatever his class donates, he writes a check to bring the total to $1 more, so his class wins.
Oh, well,
which is kind of a dick move.
It's a generous dick move.
It is, and the reason I don't completely lose my shit over it is the fact that it's more money for the charity. So I've refocused myself. I'm out to make his life a living hell.
I think we should, for next year, we should make sure that story is known, because I believe the Brushheads in their heart will find the noble cause of making this teacher understand the ramifications of what he's doing.
It's entirely possible I should probably tell that story every hour on the hour during JohnCon.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a story that needs to get around. I think we could.
I wonder if
next year we need to definitely push that story. I think we can get a lot of donations, because
I wonder if I could get a picture of this teacher, and we could post it while I'm streaming, and we go make this guy pay, and so that that's what, like I said, it's all about getting the monies for the charities. Like I said, it feels like a dick move, but it is getting money in the hands of the poor who really do need it. So on top of all that, we're going to talk today, John. We're going to talk the kind of just-in-time podcasting that this show is known for. We are going to be doing. I put together a PowerPoint presentation, as I'm wont to do, and that PowerPoint presentation is going to outline all of the events of JohnCon, or at least the selected ones, and when they're going to be live streamed, because the revolution will be live streamed. And the revolution starts on the 8th. And do you think we should just jump into that, John, or do you got any other business you want to talk about? I'd like to see that big beautiful model you've got behind you there.
Oh, I wish I could say something as lofty as it's a model, but no, this is a fucking toy.
Oh, okay. Well, I like that. I like toys too.
This is the latest Jetfire for Transformers, and he is fucking huge, as you can tell by him compared to my head.
That is a lot of Transformer.
Yeah, he's super cool. Transforms well. He's got lots of guns. I was very pleased, and I mean, he's bigger than the Imperial Knight I have lying down behind him. I showed you the picture of him compared to the Wold Wrath. He's freaking huge. He's if only I had a tape measure to tell you exactly how huge.
Oh wait, he has.
He's a foot tall.
Wow, that's 12 inches of Autobot right there, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, he's very cool. I was very pleased with Play of the Transformers TCG. I've been revisiting childhood, and let me tell you, I could not be happier. Just do a couple little things to revisit childhood. It, as they say, it brings me joy.
Hey, and you know what? If it sparks joy, as whoever that organizer lady is. So, John, I'm a little bit out of practice on this show. We need to discuss beverages. And I've got a weird. Oh well, why don't you lead off for a change, buddy?
I am drinking Jack Daniel's Original Recipe Tennessee Apple, finely crafted apple liqueur blended with Jack Daniel's Tennessee whiskey. It is 70 proof, and I drink it straight because I have to go to work tomorrow. I'm not sure how that logic works.
Sure, no, it works. Totally works. So. As a part of this health kick I've been on, I don't drink very much anymore. And that's fine. That's fine. And I've got this weird liquor store just down the street from me. It's like literally 3 blocks away. And they have Woodford Reserve, which we've talked about on the show before, for $10 a bottle less than the grocery store.
Wow.
And that's like super sweet. Why would I buy it anywhere else? They also have zombie dust. which is an IPA that you can't really find too many places. It's always out, but they seem to have a way of getting it. And so I was in there today, and I picked up a bottle of Woodford for JohnCon, and I picked up a zombie dust because JohnCon is the first place I ever tasted zombie dust. Mike Wick and Pete Capozzo brought some down with them during JohnCon 1, and I like it. Let me read the side of the bottle here. This intensely hopped and gushing undead pale ale will be one's only respite after the zombie apocalypse, created with our marvelous friends in the comic industry, art by Tim Seeley. So, on behalf of the Painting with Men Off John Wednesday Night Experience and the coming of JohnCon, hey, Ron.
Ron.
You know why I remembered to do the toast, John, is because my throat was feeling a little. I was getting a little bit of scratchiness there that only a little bit of the mother's milk could possibly help remedy, if you will.
Well, fair enough. I was going to remind you because I'm staring at a bottle of Jack.
Hell yeah! Well, we fixed that now, didn't we?
Yeah. I told everyone at work that all this stress and extra work that we've been doing recently has really been good for me health-wise. I stopped drinking soda.
Hey.
And they're like, oh, really? That's great. I'm like, yeah, I drink the alcohol straight now.
Fuck yeah.
I don't find that as funny as I do, but, you know, I'm a little bit known as a joker and keeping the positive attitude at work.
You got to, man. You got to keep the positive attitude. I'll tell you, it makes a big difference to people wanting to work with you. So come in and be a raging POS. Nobody wants any of that. So
fair.
So tonight, after we talk about JohnCon and I go over the menu, if you will, the charcuterie tray of events that is uniquely the JohnCon. Then I do have some painting to do. I have little Sevy 1 here, Sevy 0, excuse me. He probably is going to get some paint, even though I don't really play that game anymore. And then I've got me a Colossal to work on a little bit too. This is the not Hyperion one, so that I can never remember. Helios. You know, John, it's like a running gag on the show, but it is. But it's not. It's Helios. I can't remember it. Funny looking
so
Kador.
Excited for him and never actually got a chance to get one, but that's okay.
Hey, you know what? I'll bet you Helios probably will play for Kador now. Because what I'm hearing is basically every model plays for every faction.
I try not to. Don't get me started.
That's true, isn't it? I mean, I saw Gas before, and he plays for Crix, Cock, and who knows, and Ret. I mean,
all I know is that Bowie was making a list with Striker 1 and Conquest, and I'm like, what kind of happy horseshit is that?
So, from what I can tell, so here I've got some film footage, John. Oh. Some behind the scenes footage from the development lab at Privateer Press, and I'm gonna roll it right now. Okay, you ready?
All right, my soul is ready.
Yep. Okay, you watching the stream?
Oh yeah.
Here it comes. Okay, there you go. That's it. It'll be coming through here in a second.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yep.
I mean, oh, Kago, you don't know about the most recent set, do you? The theme list where you got Kador and Signar working together. Mass hysteria.
It's literally I set up a game with Randy Culp to play just for funsies, and then I heard about this and I went, so wait a second, what? And so literally, I didn't know what the hell was going on already. I really don't know what the hell's going on now.
Oh my god, the responses to people when they're like, wait, what do you mean that Gatsby 4 is a Convergence of Cyrus caster? I read that thread purely for the lulz.
Yeah, I put a comment in there and it says when you've said to hell with balancing the game, and you're just trying to save the company.
I don't know if they're there yet, but we will see. We will see. They got some new games coming out. We can see how that does for them. They've always needed to sort of diversify properly. We'll see how it goes.
What new game do they have coming out?
Well, they have Warcaster, which is their future game.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's hard for anyone to be hyped about a game that we've gotten only a name and a basic idea for, when Marvel is staring at us in, what, 3 weeks?
Yeah. It's like, what, War Machine 40K?
People have been saying that. They're saying it's not going to be that. We will see what it looks like. I am at least interested to see what it looks like. I don't know if I would play or not. I mean, I got enough games, and I mean, I don't even play Infinity anymore. I haven't even looked at Infinity in a while. It's too much time.
My gut tells me that what's going to happen is that in War Machine 40K, for the first edition or 2 editions, they're going to have the Rulix are going to be there, and then they're just going to wipe them out of the game.
Hold on. I need to reset the clock.
Yeah.
Squats! The clock has been reset.
There we go.
What's funny is my old boss from way back in the day had a giant army of squats that he carried around in a rifle case. We were all using pistol cases for our army, but oh no, he got every squat model, and he used a rifle case because it was extra funny.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
All right, well, here's I'm getting a little bit of audio feedback there. Okay, how's it? Oh, there we go. Whatever you did there, buddy, maybe I did something. Who knows? Anyway.
I think you did something, because all I did was turn up my volume.
Okay. All right, anyway, so here we go. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bring up the schedule of events for JohnCon here. And this ought to be pretty cool. The first thing you're going to see is Infinity Division, because I can't be bothered with making this super professional anymore. And so we're going to wait for that to stream through, and you should be able to see it, John.
Almost waiting on the, you know how it is. It takes a little bit of seconds to.
Yeah, and I'm sorry that
That's all good,
I got to figure out how to make this all like work and stream to Skype and all that kind of happy horse hockey. Man,
that's all good.
Man, I'll tell you what, Twitch is 1,000 miles behind. So, anyway. All right, so...
No, I don't think it's streaming there. It didn't do it. It's still on our face stream. We caught up to Pass when you said you were starting to stream it.
Oh, I bet you. There you go. I bet you I forgot to hit the button. There we go. Now we're going to hit the button.
Hit the button, Frank.
Yep, there we go. Here we go. It should be any second now. Man,
there
I'll tell
we
you
go.
what, I am so good at this. You'd think I've been doing this for 177 episodes, right?
It's a little big. Can you make it smaller? It is not quite. It stops at JohnCon 2019 Street.
Oh yeah, that's horse hockey right there. Let's try this. See what that makes a difference. I kind of scooshed it down a little bit. We'll figure this out, ladies and gentlemen.
Move it up to I guess the right, up and to the right a little bit.
Let's try that. I'm getting there, ladies and gentlemen. This is production with a 20-second time lag.
There you go. You could actually make it a little bit wider to the right, and that would be great too. But it works now.
Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna. It's coming through. I'm watching it. I'm watching. You know what? That's gonna be fine, just the way it is, because it's not perfect. It's not perfect. It's good enough. All right, ladies and gentlemen, what you see here in front of you is first off the JohnCon 2019 logo, which I am really super freaking happy about.
Yeah, it's super sweet and totally legit.
Yep. Quade Reed, who did the artwork for it, is a boss, and we're gonna keep throwing money his way. I can promise you that. So this is gonna be your schedule. Now it's 8th, 9th, and 10th. That's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday for those of you playing along at home. In metric, that's November. I think that's 11.8 point something. Anyway, so there you go. It's November 8th, 9th, and 10th. That's next weekend, John. Were you aware that's next weekend?
I was aware that's next weekend.
Yep.
Everything's going on next weekend.
If you're at Warfare Weekend and you're not enjoying yourself, which I can't imagine because it's going to be a great party there too, you can tune in because we're gonna be streaming this. And so here we go. It's Friday night. Friday night is the piece de resistance. I mean, let's be honest, folks.
Oh, no doubt.
Friday night is where JohnCon. We come out of the gate so hard that we strip like protons out of neutron stars, and we didn't even know neutron stars had protons. You just thought they were all full of neutrons.
You don't know that while they're running that RPG, the universe actually contracts rather than expanding for those 3 hours or so.
It's powerful, man. It's like
it's too much awesome. It just draws everything towards it because it wants to be with the awesome.
I know, right? It's got Hemi. That's what I've heard. It's got a Hemi. This one, that's right. So, this is a secret special RPG that is custom designed by everybody's favorite game master, Dan VK. And I have to tell you, folks, I can't give away what the system is. This one's going to be entertaining to watch.
Oh.
This one is not. It is not going to be an Iron Kingdoms adventure. I can tell you that.
Is it not going to be Chickens in the Mist?
It is not Chickens in the Mist.
Which, I'll be honest, I had a hoot.
Yeah, that was good times. It was good times. Chickens in the Mist is always worth hauling out every now and again. It is donating to JohnCon. Will make things happen either for the party or to the party. And we all know what that implies. For the party.
No.
To the party. To the party, yes. Excellent.
How many characters did people donating kill? I think the answer is all but one.
All but one. Fishfinger, which was my son Charles's character. It was the only one. So let me let me get my book out here. Hang on.
Oh. Let's get the book out.
I'm getting the book out. We're gonna throw the book at this one. So your players in this particular one are Rich Broutman from the Beer Machine podcast, Jeremy Patterson, who you remember as having the most off-color jokes during the last one, and he has sworn to us that I won't have to remove him from the house.
He played the sergeant guy, right?
Yes, he was essentially the guy who thought he was in command, and what we all know was that the internet was in command that night.
Yes.
Hey, my dog just showed up. Hi, Pooper. And then Charles will be playing. My son Charles. My son Jacob will also be playing as he's got Eric Mac Davis. For those of you who don't know Eric is a great guy. He's from the Rochester area. Hell of a chef, and he is going to be joining us. Super chill guy. Sassy Greyjoy. You see her right there in the old chat room. She's a regular. She's super ultra mega level brushhead. And she is bringing with her from the greater Detroit area, Brett Painter. Brett was, folks, I can't describe to you the level of dedication people have to getting to this frickin' party I throw. He didn't have quite enough money to pull off going all the way to Milwaukee, so he flew to Detroit and is getting picked up by Sassy and then driven the rest of the way. This is amazing. And
Brett's the kind of guy you want at a party like this, though. He'll make it next level.
Oh, he's gonna kick it up a notch. I'm gonna tell you what it's gonna be. He's gonna show us right where Flavortown's at. That guy.
Yeah, we start here. Yep. We're gonna end up here, and I'm making gestures in front of the camera. You guys can't see, but just assume I started lower and ended higher.
Yep, we're here, and we're gonna get up to here. For any of you who've seen Letterkenny,
it doesn't matter. That was the perfect verbal representation of what I did.
Yep, it's a great joke in Letterkenny. It's freaking hilarious. And then Scott Hebel will be joining us as well. He is a super
Scotty
ultra.
Body.
Yep. Super ultra mega high level brushhead. Scott Hebel will be joining us, and that is the recipe. I of course will be on the Wheels of Steel, being your comely host, and taking your donations and watching them. So, folks, if I can figure out a redirect link between now and JohnCon that doesn't suck balls the way that this PayPal link works, I'll try to figure it out. Maybe Rich, my IT connection, can help me with this. Hey, Necron Miles, what's up, buddy? But Miles, I haven't seen you in a long, long time, buddy. We're talking about JohnCon, so make sure you're tuning in on twitch.tv/manoffjohn on Friday night. It will be hilarious. And you go to that wonderful, easy to remember link there, and you can donate your socks off. Also, if you're watching on the Twitches, you'll notice that there's a link down below the screen that you're watching me on right now, and you can click right there on the. It would be on your computer screens, not necessarily on your mobile devices. I'm not sure what everybody's watching us on, but if you click there, it will take you to the PayPal site. And folks, this is worth donating to. Good times, man. So that is Friday night, and we are expecting it to go Yeah, folks, if you want to click, if you look in the chat window there, if you click on that link, you could set that as a favorite, couldn't you, John?
Yes, you could. That's the same link on the screen in case you don't remember. You can put it down on a notepad so you can quickly grab it the night of and be ready to go.
If you're painting a miniature right now, you could freehand that shit right into the side of that miniature right now, and you would have it, and it would be great. Sure. But I don't recommend doing that. I don't really recommend doing that. I would set it as a favorite on your browser.
Probably better.
You got that internet browser now. You know, folks these days, they don't necessarily use the Internet Explorer quite as much. What about do they have that Netscape Navigator these days, John?
Oh, you mean the big black N? No, I don't think they use the big black N anymore.
Oh, gosh darn it. Well, you have to look it up on Lycos or Alta Vista. You know, you can find it pretty easily using one of those web crawlers. You know, they call it the web crawlers, right? Ah, yes, the days.
Sorry, I don't remember those days. I remember days before that when I would just call someone else's BBS.
God, you know, when I log on and I hear that, you've got mail, that's what I'm waiting for every time I get onto my interwebs. Oh, gosh, I'll tell you. In those chat rooms, ooh, they get spicy. Anyway, so that's Friday night. And that's going to start at 6:30 p.m. Central. I can't guarantee you that it's actually going to start then, but that's when we're going to start streaming. And it'll be good times, I promise you that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Saturday night, actually during the day, is the main event. So, folks, this year, as you all know, I haven't played a game of War Machine since the ATC, and I think that's closing in on a year and a half now. And so it is going to be a wonderful time. We're going to start it off right. For those people that are staying here at Casa John, there will, of course, be Abelskivers, which is a traditional Saturday morning breakfast treat that I would like to provide, which will be great. And we're going to then at 10 o'clock, because we have some less experienced players of KeyForge, we're going to have a How to Play KeyForge session where we'll do some one-on-one tutelages with our guests that are not as fully versed in the KeyForges.
That's sweet.
And folks, keep in mind, this is not serious business. This is a cheating event. And while I have not locked down all of the cheats yet, given the fact that I need to have this ready by Saturday of next week, I better get my, as they would say on Letterkenny, give my balls a tug and get done, pitter patter, time to get at her. So,
yeah, I would say it's a good time to start working on that.
Yep. But I can reveal a few things. One of the cheats will be to buy another deck, and we're going to. So for those of you who are more versed with it, they're so far in KeyForge there have been 3 sets that have been released. The first one was called the Archons, and it's considered kind of broke. It's really good.
They were to the first set usually.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, Black Lotus came out early in Magic's days too. Then Age of Ascension, which is the current set, is going to be available, and we're going to start out everybody with an Age of Ascent deck in the random. It's called a sealed Archon, which means everybody's paid their money already. They're going to get a free deck because they paid for it, but they get a deck.
Yeah.
If they don't like that deck, for some amount of money, they're going to be able to get another deck of that same set. If they want to pay a little more money, they can get a Call of the Archons deck, which is ostensibly a little bit better. And if they want to pay a little more money, they can get a Worlds Collide deck, which becomes available worldwide on the opening day of JohnCon. And I have a 12 deck box of Worlds Collide coming just in time for JohnCon.
Awesome.
So,
awesome. That's a popular release stuff.
Yep. So it'll be great. This will be the first opportunity for folks that are coming to JohnCon to get Worlds Collide. It's really cool. There's a dinosaur faction in Worlds Collide.
Dinosaurs? Fuck yeah!
Yeah. And so it'll be super fun. And there will also be other cheats like I want to draw another card. Maybe that's one more ticket. Some of those kinds of things to help kind of along. The first prize is going to be a Worlds Collide starter set. There will be play mats that are going to be available. I've got pretty good prize support that I've collected over the year, and I've got another one of those big tubs full of stuff I'm going to be giving away.
And last place will be a full set of high command.
I'll have to go underneath the bar to get it out, though.
Make sure you show Rich that.
Yeah, I'll put, hey, Rich, you bastard. After the main event wraps up, and we will be streaming at least one table per round, as we are wont to do. There is going to be a special panel, John. We have not done this before. This is going to be a special panel because much like JohnCon, we are serious business. We're going to be having a wrestling talk with Tracy and Brett. They don't know they're doing this yet, but Tracy might have just found out.
Yeah, spoiler. At least one of them knows now.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about wrestling, and I think what we'll be able to do is we'll be able to ask questions. People can donate during the show. And, Sassy, between now and then, start thinking about what you want to do for this because I don't have any idea about wrestling. Maybe it's me asking dumb questions about wrestling, and I can be found out, hey, how's Randy Macho Man Savage doing these days? Oh, too soon.
I mean, he's unfortunately still passed.
All right. So
and still awesome.
And still snapping into that Slim Jim. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be doing that. So start thinking about some topics to talk about, Sassy, because you're going to be a podcaster, whether you like it or not. Wrestling, regular wrestling, or extreme colossal wrestling. We could probably reenact certain moments in wrestling on camera using colossals. That would be probably pretty cool. And here comes I can't even remember the name of colossals anymore. That's great. Here comes Hurricane off the top rope. So anyway, here comes that Retribution one. I can't never remember its name. Not Hyperion.
I like how you wait for the one that you don't remember, but you could have just said Hyperion.
Hyperion and not Hyperion. Those are the two colossals.
Perfect.
Okay. Then at 7 o'clock or so, whenever we feel like it, we're gonna watch a bad movie probably. We're thinking about Birdemic. There's other possibilities. John, you and I should talk during the course of the week. I'm sure that Charles will have some input in this as well. And
I'm still pulling for Robo Vampire. Until someone decides they need to shoot themselves.
So Robo Vampire could be in play. I'm thinking what we'll do is we'll set up a camera towards the television, and then we'll have people can listen in. It'll be great. Oh, God, I just threw up into the mic. That's great. And remember, you can always donate at worst link ever. So there you go.
Oh yeah. If you want to donate some money, you could possibly sway what movie they're going to watch.
That is absolutely in play.
Now, do keep in mind that if it's something that's hard to get, you might need to donate more because they'll need to pay to get it. So, I mean, keep that in mind.
Yeah, I mean, if it's available on Amazon live stream and you donate the right amount of money, anything is fair game.
See, I would donate for you, make you guys not watch a terrible movie, but one that I think Sassy and Brett would enjoy, which is called Ready to Rumble, which is a wrestling movie.
Could be possible.
It's not a terrible movie. I like that movie.
So hey, here we go. This is my 3 days of being the biggest whore I possibly can be. Whatever it takes, man. We're feeding people. I mean, I've taken my clothes off for less. I promise you that.
I remember that.
Yes. And then Sunday, there probably won't be any streaming on Twitch unless I can figure out how to Twitch from my phone. And they call that Tinder, don't they? These kids today, I'll tell you. But the people who are I vote that. So Sassy's voting for the wrestling movie.
Of course.
Every round for the Sunday traveling Beerforge tournament is going to be held at a different local brewing company. Now, last year, a bunch of us went to a bunch of places up in Milwaukee. This time, we're going to keep it a little bit more local. We're going to stay in the Racine-Kenosha area because some folks from the Racine Brewing Company have volunteered to help sort of shuttle us around. And that is amazing. They have a 12-person van. They're going to help get us around to places. And the first round will be at Racine Brewing Company in downtown Racine. The second one will be at Rustic Road Brewing Company, which is Rustic Road is knocking it out of the park these days with their beer. Racine Brewing Company is fantastic also, don't get me wrong. And the space that they have is going to be really fun. But Rustic Road is great. The food there is amazing. And then we're going to also definitely go to Public Brewing Company. And they have this huge, like, executive conference room table that they said we could use. Plus, they also have a Nintendo 64 and all kinds of stuff. It's a great little brewery. And then we'll see how we're doing. And we have less people for the brewery tour right now signed up. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people. Yeah, 9 people. So we'll see if we need a fourth round, if we decide to go to our Noggin Brewery, or if we just decide to say the hell with it and stay at Public. Because the beers there are awful good, too.
I do like that you chose the second one you go to be the one with the best food. That is a good choice, sir.
Yeah. We're starting at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and we have to be done by like 6. But for KeyForge, that's not hard.
No, it's a fun, quick game, yeah.
Yep. And so we're gonna hit these places. It's gonna be super fun. We'll be doing updates. Follow me on the Twitches. Not the Twitches, the Twitters. You know,
the Twitters.
The Twitters. You know, if you can, this guy, I hear we have a president right now that's fairly fond of the Twitters. So, I promise that my Twitter will be less ass hattery than that one.
John, I have to share this with you. I was driving to work this morning.
Yeah.
I was behind a guy with the most unintentionally funny and sad Trump bumper sticker ever now.
Oh, please do tell.
It says, and I quote, "White lives matter, Trump that bitch." And I'm just like, I want to go to the same places you would ask just what you think of that bumper sticker now. No, not going to call you anything. Just tell me what you think of that particular phrase now.
Yeah.
Let me know.
Just
want to know.
Honest to God. All right, folks. So that's JohnCon. Mr. Snowyak, the island painter, I do not recognize your handle, but I am very happy that you're here. And I wanted to recognize you as now a brush head. Hey, Ron.
Ron.
If you're just kind of coming to the Brushhead Nation, welcome to the best and most loyal group of people in all of the Twitter's verse, Twitch's verse, or whatever it is. And we just got done talking about JohnCon, and we hope that you will tune in next week, the 8th, 9th, and 10th on this channel. We're going to shenanigans will be afoot of this, I promise you.
And they mean the good, wholesome shenanigans.
Oh gosh, yeah. We're gonna be playing KeyForge. We're gonna be drinking beer. We're gonna be talking probably about coffee and wrestling.
Friday night is the Piece de la Resistance, the role-playing game live streamed. It will be great.
It is très magnifique, or as Foxy Brown would say, it is going to be the very best of the television of the night, eh? So, all right. Well, so it's 7:30, John. We've been doing this shit for an hour so far. I guess I could paint for a little bit.
You probably should paint. Don't you have some KeyForge keys or some
I do.
Crazy Protector of Mendoff guy?
Yeah, so let's talk about the KeyForge keys first. I'm going to transition this over here to the painting cam as I am wont to do. It's a little glary.
That's called a segue.
It is a segue. It's a little glary, so I'm actually going to turn off the lamp here for a second. There we go.
Those are sweet.
So in KeyForge, and this is like now becoming an actual thing that matters. You're supposed to have a blue key, a red key, and a yellow key. And one of the guys at Menagerie Games, I thought I turned you off. There we go. One of the guys at Menagerie Games 3D printed these. And they are, so when you start off, they're on this side because they don't have the amber to make them into keys yet. And then when you gather enough amber, boop, there you go. And I used the I used a little bit of the Citadel gem paint on these.
Sweet.
Pretty simple. I mean, all we basically did here was I hand primed it, surface primed it black with the Vallejo paint on primer. And the reason I did that, John, was because I had a mouse in my house.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We have a mouse in our house.
Yeah, I had a mouse in the house. And oh, thank you. You know, I like this Mr. Snowiak very, very much. He's saying nice things. And
Right.
So I painted that on here because I had disconnected, and I still have my my little spray booth disconnected. I need to hook up the dryer thing. There, that stuff, exactly that stuff right there.
That's
Boom.
what I use for everything.
Hell yeah.
I actually bought an airbrush.
Oh yeah. Well,
I
see,
haven't hooked it up yet, but
my airbrush was a little out of commission because I had taken the dryer hose off of it. I need to unfuck that before JohnCon in case nobody's gonna want to paint during JohnCon. They're gonna come to drink. Anyway, so
they paint. It'll be old school painting with a brush.
Boom. I did a little dry brush action on this with a. See, I started off with cold steel, and then I gave it a little bit of wash with the Nuln oil, just to kind of try to bring out some of the detail. The fella did a wonderful job. I'm not disparaging his 3D printing. It's a little bit rough on the detail. It's a little bit tough on some of the detail.
To be fair, that's 3D printing in general still. I mean, unless you got one of the really expensive ones and the most expensive material, it's really hard to get good detail.
Yeah, no, I don't fault him at all.
No.
But I wanted to bring that out with a little bit of the black wash. Worked out pretty good. Went in here, put a little bit of the old Signar blue base in the middle. Worked out beautiful. That's a beautiful color to work with. It really is a wonderful color to work with. And then I did the Quicksilver with the gem over the top of it. Worked out really good. I really like how the bronze one turned out. This is I believe it's Rulic Gold, or it's could be Molten Bronze. I don't even friggin' remember anymore. And then Khador Red worked out good. Pretty happy with that. You know, Khador Red can be kind of a little bit of a difficult paint to work with sometimes, John.
Yeah, but a couple of nice light coats does a good job with it. It definitely lends itself more to the proper watering down and layering of it.
Indeed. And then once again, with the Quicksilver and the gem paint on it, a little bit of gray on the back just to give it a little contrast. I think the gray works out good just because it's a nice matte color. It'll work out really good that way.
You tell there's something missing there. The only option would be black, and I think black might be might pop too much and detract from the rest.
Agreed. That's what I was thinking about that too. You know, I haven't sealed these yet, and I need to get the old Vallejo matte varnish out for the key itself, and then I'll come back over the gems after I airbrush it with gloss varnish.
Oh, good, you've got a bottle. I don't have to go get mine.
Yep, exactly. and then the yellows. Once again, folks, this is a technique that I highly recommend if you want a nice bright yellow like this. I painted it with moldy ochre first. I gave
moldy ochre is the shit.
Yes, it is. It's a nice, opaque, easy to use yellow, as opposed to Cygnus yellow, which is what's over the top of it on this. Cygnus yellow will cause you to have an aneurysm. It's very transparent, but if you paint it over the top of moldy ochre, it pops immediately, and it changes the dynamics of working with that paint immediately.
If you're not like top level painter and you don't have moldy ochre in your paint box, stop painting yellow.
Yeah,
it is the way to paint yellow. It is so good. It is a great color. It is one of my favorites and go-tos.
Yep. So, folks, I mean, this is a way that you can use some of your miniature painting techniques for other games too, and it really worked out really, really good. Chuck is super happy with them. He's had these for too long, and I haven't gotten around to painting them. This week, I had a plethora of, shall we say, long conference calls that I had some things to do with, but not everything to do with. So, what's that?
I know those feelings.
Yeah, exactly. So, and you know, one thing I could do, John, is I could paint those on the show, but I think what I'm going to do, you know, as far as sealing them with that stuff, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait off and hook the dryer vent back up and get that going. But I think what I'm going to do now is I got to take a look at this little guy. He's most of the way there, Sevi Zero. And I apologize for it being a long ways away as far as being able to see him. But I'm going to I'll try and hold him up as best I can while I'm talking. So, he said Snowiak is asking about Badger is coming out with a new primer specifically designed for 3D printing. It's supposed to fill those lines. Gosh, okay, that scares the piss out of me, first off, because if it's thick enough to hide the sins of a 3D printer, I'm a little concerned about what else it's going to hide.
Yeah, just one you're going to have to be careful with. Like, you'd probably throw it on and then probably take a fine brush or something and go through the actual lines you want still there and pull it out. I'll be interested to see that is. That's but like the GW contrast paints. They said it couldn't be done. Maybe it can be done.
Yeah, the contrast paints I haven't gone back to yet, John. On the last, I think the last time we got together, I did the zombie fish, and they're still sitting. They're still sitting over there. I haven't gotten around to it, but I've got, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time for the blue glove of love. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Oh yeah, that's a. See, doing little hand puppets. Oh yeah, there you go. That's good. That's quality podcasting right there, John. You can't turn on, PewDiePie and see that. He's not doing blue glove of love. Not even a little. He's too busy being a horrible racist. All right, so
I would state that was superfluous. All racists are horrible.
Indeed. All right, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to start off here. Sevi's got him some white metal that needs to be worked on. So we're going to start off here with a little bit of the old cold steel. And so a thing about Privateer Press metallics is that they don't terribly love they don't like to be diluted a whole lot.
No, most metallics don't actually.
And I am not going to sit here and I'm just going to pick myself. What sucks, John, is I took my glasses off because, for the detail work, I need the glasses off. But now I can't see what the hell brushes I have. We're going to go with this one here. This is from Broken Toad. It's a number 1 size here, and we're going to move the zombie dust over so I can do that. And John, what are you currently working on these days? Are you still hobby streaking, or are you have you not been hobby streaking as much?
I still hobby streak. Yesterday was day 694.
Wow, so you're still on that streak, huh? That's amazing.
Yeah, still on that streak. Yeah, I was been doing some Malifaux models. I have a metric shit ton on the table next to me. So much that I can legitimately say I am almost out of Malifaux models to assemble.
Wow.
The only ones left are for the faction I'm not really even playing at all, or the 2 factions aren't really playing at all, and some special edition stuff that I don't want to assemble. So, I literally broke into stuff. I put together my Eisenhorn that I got off eBay.
Shut the front door. The Eisenhorn?
Yeah, this is young Eisenhorn. It's a 40K scale. You can use him in games. I just figured, what the heck? He's cool.
Yeah, he is.
So got him, put him together. So I like putting together models. I've got a Troggoth Hag for my Troggoths for Age of Sigmar. I need to assemble, but I need to get an emery board because I need to fix the bottom of this base because it was not flat at all. I literally put some putty on it, thought I smoothed it out, glued it, and then I looked on the plastic base under the resin, and I could see to the other side. And I'm like, yeah, that's not going to work.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
So I'm going to get an emery board, put my mask on, and do that. L. Marshall's going to bring me one. If not, I'll pick one up this weekend and start working on it again. But just been mostly assembling, but I'll go back to painting here soon. I sort of go back and forth. It's easier to do a whole bunch of assembling, then put them in the cases, and then break out the paints and do a whole bunch of painting at once, at least till I maybe clean off the other half of my desk so I can have both at once. But I'm not sure. I might want to leave this for reading area over to my right. I got a big L-shaped desk. It's great.
Hey, you know what I'm doing on a completely unrelated subject? You know where I'm going on? You know what I'm doing on Saturday? I'm going to see Mystery Science Theater 3000.
I actually knew you were because I saw that post.
Yeah. Ended up with nice planning, John. My son Charles loves MST3K, and unfortunately, he's going to be out of town with his mom, which is great, and I'm happy that they're doing it. But it would, God, that's $65 that I'll never see again. But wow.
Yeah, Miles, I did see your Day 59. Those BattleTech dropships are looking sweet. You were right. That bigger one is significantly bigger. Holy moly! When Miles came down, we talked BattleTech a bit and all. I actually bought the basic box set at the store when we were hanging out together because, like I said with the giant Jetfire, I'm revisiting some stuff from my childhood and that maybe fell behind. You know, can't keep up with everything, so get some stuff. Means something to me. I'll put it on the shelf. It'll look cool next to the local game store had the old West End Games D6 version of Star Wars, the whatever anniversary that was. They ended up on their discount table for half price last year around Christmas, so I picked it up and put it on my shelf because it's part of my childhood. It makes me happy.
Well, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. All right, so I'm going to probably put a little bit of silver medals here on this Menifix too because the all gold there is, I need to break up the gold. It looks like a big mess. So.
Yeah. Sometimes those big things, sometimes they look good, like they've got the right texture where a little bit of wash will make it pop, wash and dry will make it pop, but sometimes you just need to add extra stuff, and that looks reasonably flat.
It is. There's a little bit of filigree to it that I would normally expect, but I don't think if I put a little wash on there, I think I'm going to lose even that filigree. So we're just
water down your wash. Get it nice and watery.
Yeah. I think it's better, though, to give it a little bit of contrast, and as I'm seeing it kind of develop here. Folks, this is something you got to remember, too. Paint is just paint. You know, it's just a thing. You just got to, if you don't like how it turns out, just frickin' repaint it. It's not that big.
Yeah, and something like that, if you're painting something that small, we actually talked about this last week on my other cast. I keep a bottle of acetone. You know, you guys are like, oh, acetone. I'll take a Q-tip, dip it in there, and I'll literally rub the paint off of the part I need to fix, then dip the other end in water to, you know, wipe it off and then dry it off. Then I'll reprime and go again if I have to.
Exactly.
You can't be afraid of that. You can't be afraid of it. The only time you'd be afraid of it's a model you totally can't replace. You don't want to be afraid of it, but you have to have a plan.
You gotta be bold. You gotta make bold moves sometimes.
Yeah, that Captain Spud made me, the Ashland. Captain Spud sculpted me.
Yep.
I was afraid of that for a long time, and finally said, you know what, fuck it, I need to paint this. This is a cool model. I'm painting it.
Yep.
That was the one where I started the acetone thing. I had I had messed up her face a couple times, so I'm just like, you know, just going to keep acetoning it and redoing it until I get it right.
Makes sense, man. All right, so
that's good.
Let's get a little bit of paint on here now.
It's funny how much once you got the base colors down, you start putting little details on, the model just starts to come together.
Okay. You need something?
Do you know how the upstairs TV receives power?
Nope, and I'm in the middle of a show, so as soon as the show's over, I'll help you. Okay. Yeah, it's my son Jacob stopped by. He's having a little bit of stress with the television upstairs. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Right now is not that time. I'm with my brush heads. All right, so now
like I say, don't sweat the small stuff, and if it's not life-threatening, it's small stuff.
Yep. So we got a little bit of silver we got to put on here. These little, like, I don't know, tubes going back to his backpack.
Yeah. Must be. I mean, I imagine with a model like this, it's actually harder because it's not like you've painted a ton of those guys recently.
Yeah. Trying to figure out where the hell.
Like, what did I paint this then? Sometimes you just got to go. Like, you know what? I'll make it a color. I actually have a notebook. I keep right. Hold on, I can reach it. Right here, little notebook.
Yep.
Pen on it, so I can write down what I paint certain things. So I go like, I paint this color, this color, because I painted some of those AdMech guys, and I painted nice green on it, and then did a coat over it, and then I went to the next one, and I'm like, apparently I did not use the green I thought I used.
Yeah, it's super easy with the Menoth things just to make everything's going to be Menoth base and frickin' Sagwin base. It's real easy to fall into that, and
sometimes it's right.
Sometimes it's right, and that's kind of where I'm at with this, because if you think about this model, this is Sevi 0. Okay, this is before Sevi got to be all kind of, famousy and stuff. So he's not going to have the most detailed, crazy, elaborate clothing, because he probably was just, just a screwtator out there screwtating people.
I'll be honest, Sanguine base is another one of those go-to colors I
Oh,
like. It's
so
just such a
good.
good color.
It's a great color. It covers well. It doesn't.
It covers well. It takes highlights well.
Yep. Oh yeah, Sanguine highlight base is so good to work with.
I actually don't even use that. I will use a standard red, like a P3 or not P3. Like a what is it called? Brain John, Vallejo red, and it'll go over that with a couple nice light highlights will pop out really well.
Yeah, Sanguine base highlight though is a tremendously cool color to work with.
So Crimson says Menoth white highlight, Sanguine base, and coal black are the best colors P3 makes. You forgot Moldy Ochre.
Yep.
Moldy Ochre is the best color they make, and I will die on that hill.
Coal black is a wonderful color though too.
Yeah, I would actually go coal black, Sanguine base, and Moldy Ochre. Menoth white highlight's pretty good, but as soon as you jump into Vallejo lines, there's a million off whites that help out with that too. It is a really good color, though.
Yep. So I mean, it's nice to be in a place. It's nice to be in a place with these models that I'm, it's just working out really good as far as I can just kind of get a little paint on it, and it's working out from a speed standpoint really, really good too.
I'm gonna love, and this is double with Marvel coming out. Everyone painting all their characters, and it's the same characters. There's only 12 models to start. The 10 core models, then MODOK and Hulk. Everyone painting their models and seeing how different they end up looking to everyone. That's going to be awesome.
Yep. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be buying into it, to be honest, only because I'm so far away from any type of a miniatures community right now that.
Oh yeah, I mean, you shouldn't if it's not your thing. But I mean,
it's my thing. It's just I got nobody to play with.
That's the worst. That's my Armada game right now. I actually spent a little bit of money on a lot from eBay. It was a great lot. It had a lot of great stuff in it. I'm not displeased I bought it. But I've only gotten to play 2 games of Armada since I got it.
Yeah.
Just not a lot going on right now. El Marshall moved to get a little further away. Now it's a nice place. Holy crap. Hope sometime you can come out and see that. It is, oh my God.
Well, I'm going to be in, actually, there's a chance that I could, sometime probably in the winter time. There's a project going on in New York that I might have to go out for.
Oh, yeah, let me know.
Yep, for sure. What time is it, John?
It is 7:48 your time.
7:48. So, I'm thinking I'm going to paint here for another little bit, and then we'll get the old media section going.
Absolutely. So while you guys are JohnConning next weekend, I hopefully will have a game against not Brushhead Dave of Malifaux. We've played about 5 or 6. I am 5 or 6-0 against him. I really hope he gets that one where he turns the corner. And it's not like any one thing. It's just, I mean, I've been playing games for a long time.
And so,
let's see. Crimson says, Marvel Crisis Protocol looks cool, but superheroes aren't my jam, and I feel like there isn't much room for creativity, but with canon colors being more of a thing. I mean, that's true to a point, but at the end of the day, I mean, it is the ultimate combination of a game where you just sort of everyone knows what you're getting with the characters, but the creativity is going to be so much. It's harder, but once you get there, it's going to be so much more interesting. You get Captain America. Are you painting standard, bright, vibrant red, white, and blue Captain America? Or are you painting darker color, endgame sort of at Captain America? Or are you going to try and paint him in his sort of really dark, Renegade Captain America with the beard look. A couple alternate heads and all. I don't know if they have them. There are actually unboxing and alls out there. I got to say, Atomic Mass Games is really good at getting everyone some preview models. They're all over the place. Metalhead Mini's got some. Kravik, who's a big FFG guy, got some. Kathy Wapple from my podcast got some.
That's
Her
cool.
computer just died the day she got it, so she couldn't actually stream with them yet.
Aw, that's too bad.
She did an unboxing with them, but didn't get a chance to actually put them together or paint them on the cast yet. So I agree. There is some difficulty in customizing it, but I think if you get that next point, the people who really want to go crazy with it could. A couple alternate heads. I mean, there'll be some stuff out there. I'm really interested to see where it goes. And it's a game that's just going to get so much more interesting as you get more and more characters out there. Hey, Farrah Roche, how's it going? But yeah, that's interesting. So yeah, hopefully that Friday where you guys are JohnConning. If not, if there's no game, if like something happens, his work is crazy, I will be in here glued to the chair watching the RPG.
As you all should be.
Yes, it's only because I get so little game time that I would actually choose to play a game over that on that particular weekend. Because it's so hard to get game time nowadays. But other than that, and then Sunday, when you guys are doing the tour, that's actually the local store's release for the new Transformers TCG set. So, like I said, everything's coming out that weekend. I mean, you got all that stuff. Actually, the locals are having their Infinity, Baltimore, their Infinity, big Infinity tournament that Saturday. But I haven't even looked at Infinity in a year.
Yeah. So the unfortunate thing about the scheduling for JohnCon this year is that there's a vault tour in Indianapolis. And a bunch of my vault tours are like the big kind of, events that go on, and there's prizes and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. I mean,
a bunch of my locals are going to Indianapolis. So there's not going to be quite as many people this year, but it looks like for next year we're going to have no problem with overlapping.
Yeah, and I got a raise at work because I'm awesome.
All right, congratulations, man.
Thank you. So I will be looking at making sure I have the money to do that. I need to do more. I need to get out and do more stuff. Can't just sit here and watch YouTube videos and stuff. I got to do more stuff. So that's on my list to make sure I get back out. Whatever you're playing, I don't really care. I'll be there.
We'll teach you, man. It's all good.
You'll teach me. I'll bring some stuff. It'll be crazy.
The thing about JohnCon is that we have these events and stuff like that, but ultimately it's about hanging out and having a great time with great people.
God, and that is the best. Isn't that the best thing about gaming? Hanging out with people and having a good time?
Yep. 100%.
That's why Watch Machine became such a big thing. You're just sitting around talking with people, You got a common point, and then you just start chatting and having a good time.
Absolutely. Well,
like our TCG nights for Transformers when Bowie and Not Brushhead Dave comes over, and Not Brushhead Dave turns into a pumpkin really early, so he leaves early, but Bowie and Banyan and I will be sitting downstairs talking for hours afterwards, just chatting about stuff, having a good time.
Fantastic. Yeah, it's
all about.
It's about companionship and the fellowship with other people. It's always great.
Yeah, I feel sorry for everyone else. Everyone else got one family. I got like 3 families. It's awesome.
All right, so I'm gonna finish. Let's see. I got a little bit of gold to put on here, and I got to figure out where the hell I was putting it. Oh yeah, I got to put it on these little. Because this guy's almost done, and then I can start washing them down, and he's going to turn out just cool. Gets a little bit.
Oh shit! And not to start media section stuff earlier, but I didn't tell you, John. I actually saw Alien in the theater.
Shut up! For the 40th anniversary.
40th anniversary, yeah. It was actually a team building thing for work.
Wow, that's cool.
It was me and my boss and one other member of our team because everyone else was busy, or had, actual family things to go to because it was a Tuesday.
Boo, go see Alien.
I mean, life happens. They have kids and stuff.
Yeah. Boo.
You know how that is.
I do know how it is.
But it was, of course, legit as shit.
Put some food out on the floor or something. They'll find it.
Isn't that why you have significant others? Help with the kids?
The freaking kids are not going to starve in one evening.
Not in the microwave age. Jesus.
No.
My mom's like, "Oh, I'm not going to be home tonight." Like, okay, Mom, I will microwave some hot dogs and we'll be fine.
Yep, my
can
kids
handle-
are all in on between Hungry Man. I keep a stock of microwavable food in the house in case something goes sideways. Because you never know when it's going to go sideways.
Those Hungry Man dinners are easy and they're filling.
Yes, they are.
Or soup. Campbell's soup in a can, man. That stuff is great.
Yep, 100%.
I'm not going to say I lived on that stuff for a couple of years, but
All right,
I lived on that stuff for a couple of years.
we are done with this ass clown. All right, so he's going to go over here, and I'm going to put my glasses back on so I can actually see what the living hell I'm doing.
Oh, I forgot to tell everyone. Anyone in the chat room who wants to, I'm playing 40K this Friday. You can vote on my faction I play. I have Imperial Knights, I have Adeptus Mechanicus, and I have Death Watch.
Mm-hmm.
I know. They're all servers of the Imperium, but, fuck it. They can all ally together. It makes it more interesting for me. So if you want to choose one, just type it in the chat room, let me know, and I will play that on the weekend, whatever the majority rules. Because I haven't looked at any of that stuff in forever, so I don't even have anything built. So I'm going to have to build it from scratch.
You don't even. I thought you had AdMech.
I do have AdMech. I said AdMech, Imperial Knights, and Deathwatch.
Oh, okay. Well, my vote is for Knights.
Okay. Meaning you hate everyone I play against, which is awesome.
Well, that's fine. I mean, that may be the case, but
Holy crap!
big stompy
It
robots.
really stands out how big he is in that picture, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. They can't. Yeah, they can see now on the screen. They can see how big he is. Holy Christopher!
Because there's a regular size transformer over a couple, one box.
Oh
over
yeah.
from-
Yep. There he is up on top. They're hiding by.
Yeah. And that's not like a tiny transformer. That guy turns into a Humvee, so it is actually, it is a very good $75 I spent. He is super awesome.
Heck yeah.
I joked with Gonzo. Gonzo's like, "Oh, transform him." I'm like, "Gonzo, I need to clean off my desk because I don't have space to put him down after I transform him." That's not even a
cool.
joke. It's true.
All right, brother,
another vote
talk
for
to me.
Knights.
Talk to me. You. So this, for those of you who've been playing along since the return of Painting with Menoth, John has been slogging through the 450 movies that make up the Fast X Furious type of movies, and you have reached the conclusion tonight. Am I
Yes.
right?
Now I did skip Tokyo Drift because in my opinion it's not really part of the series.
Got it.
I mean, hats off to them for making it part of the series. It's not really part of the series. But yeah, I'm on the last of the movies because I started with the Fast and Furious Presents Shobbs and Haw.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm ending here with The Fate of the Furious, which is number 8. Which
Okay.
is like Fate. It's supposed to be funny. It's not.
Fate. Oh God, I didn't even realize it.
Yeah.
Oh,
They're
God.
sneaky.
Yeah,
That's-
sneaky's a word for it.
All right, so this follows, of course, the continuing adventures of Dominic Toretto, played by Vin Diesel, and his crew, minus Brian, because unfortunately Paul Walker passed between movies, so he and Mia were written out. Like, we can't involve them. They got a kid. We don't want to get them involved in anything,
Got
which is a good write-out. I mean, I'll be honest. Seven did a really good goodbye to him, a really touching one. I'll be honest. Someone comes in the room and cuts onions when that comes on. Because it's a character you've been with for 6 movies, and you know they're not coming back because they can't. It's hard to say goodbye to them. So it was a good touching scene.
Yep.
But this starts off, and it starts off with the only racing you're going to see in the entire movie, really,
Mhm.
which is of course they're in the Dominican Republic, and of course Dom has to make a point about family or respect or something. It's respect. Because someone's disrespecting his family and has to race a car that has no right winning against another car. But of course he does because it's the driver that matters, not the car.
Yeah. That okay.
Remember that.
Okay. It's the driver, not the car.
Driver, not the car, yeah. So then it goes on to him and Letty, and she talks about wanting to have kids. That is a spoiler, by the way.
Okay.
You can see where this is fucking going.
Yeah, oh yeah. She's
and then
dead.
it shows Charlize Theron, who's the bad guy, or
Oh.
bad girl in this one, talking to Dom. She sort of ambushes him, gives him a cell phone, shows him a picture that they don't show you.
Okay.
And then it goes to The Rock with his daughter, and their soccer team doing the sort of Maui war chant before the fight before the girls' soccer game, which is hilarious, actually.
Is she a Rockette?
Not quite. And they get The Rock to go and pick up some EMP weapon or something like that. And like, if you get caught doing this, the government will disavow all knowledge. So now he's part of the Impossible Mission Force, I guess.
Okay.
But there's only one crew in the world that can help him, and that's, of course, Dom and the rest of his crew, because you need ex-street racers because they're the best.
Of course.
Question mark?
Of course.
Though, to be fair, they've been through so much, I would probably call them too.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is Chewy the dog making his appearance via audio.
So they get together, and Dom, they split up, and Dom betrays The Rock and steals the EMP device, leaves him busted in there for the cops, and the cops take him to jail.
Okay. To
high security prison. There's a little scene in between where Kurt Russell, who plays Mr. Nobody,
okay,
the sort of CIA spook, and then introducing Scott Eastwood playing Little Nobody, his protege.
Okay.
And they try to convince him to do something. He's like, nope, I'll get out of here my own way. He goes in there. Jason Statham is, of course, across the way in the cell that he can immediately see. Because, of course.
Yeah, right.
He put him there last time. And they have a lot of talk back and forth, very reminiscent of Hobbs and Shaw. That comes after this. And then there's a big breakout in the prison, and it becomes a superhero thing where Jason Statham and The Rock are just fucking kicking everyone's ass on their way out of the prison. And, well, okay, at this point, I believe this movie took physics, shot physics, and has hidden the body somewhere next to Jimmy Hoffa. If you don't know who Jimmy Hoffa is, ask your parents.
Yeah, exactly.
So they get out, but of course it was all plot, and Mr. Nobody shows up and gets him there and has gotten the rest of the team together, and like, we need to find this bad guy, and Dom's helping her, and we need to get all this stuff back. And it becomes your standard movie from that point. They work together. There's some fun action scenes in it, I'll be honest. There's some cool car stuff. There's some absolutely ridiculous stuff where they start spouting the horsepowers for Dom's car, or his bad guy car. It's like, he must have 1,000 horsepower. Try 2,000. I'm like, it doesn't work like that.
No.
Not even a little. But there are some really good stunts. A combination of CGI bullshit where the bad guys hack all the auto drive cars and send them after people. Which is a cool concept. It's just very CGI.
Sure.
It's not great. It's not bad. I don't want to say it's bad, but it's like, yeah, okay, it's fine. But some of the actual physical stunts, driving stunts they do with the main cast is actually pretty cool. And there's a bunch of things going on. Dom visiting with Helen Mirren, no one knows for what. You get the idea that she is related somehow to someone else. And then Dom gets what he needs from a Russian minister. It's nuclear codes, and ends up shooting poor Jason Statham's character after he and The Rock had a heart-to-heart, where The Rock realizes that Jason Statham's character was betrayed by the same bad guy, Cypher, played by Charlize Theron, that everyone else, and they have a little sort of respect. They gain respect for each other. Which I'll point out, they throw out before the Hobbs and Shaw movie.
Do they become family?
At the end, yeah.
Oh, see?
Spoiler at the end, family.
Family.
I will say every plot twist in this movie, quote unquote, is fairly well telegraphed if you've seen it twice. The first time you might be surprised. The second time, you're going to notice certain things like, oh, he's doing this. I don't want to give it all away.
Sure.
Because the ending, it is an enjoyable movie. It sounds like a slog. I would say the only bad part of this movie is the fact that they invited Tyrese Gibson back, because he's got nothing to play off of anymore. He used to play off of Brian. They had some good banter with Paul Walker. But, and here's a strange statement you would never thought you'd hear in a million years. Paul Walker is a way better actor than Scott Eastwood is.
Wow. Scott
Eastwood does not, he's still young, he's still feeling his way, but he does not make up for the lack of Paul Walker at all. He tries to, he might as well not be in the movie.
Wow.
But, you still have Ludacris there. He's great. You have the female hacker that they rescued last time. She's part of the group now. She's enjoyable in it. Michelle Rodriguez continues to show how she has gone from I can only scowl to I have the full range of emotions, and I am an actual, honest to God, legitimate actress nowadays. It's
good.
It's good. And of course, you figure out why Dom's betrayed them. It's pretty easy to figure out. And the end has a cool fight scene where they have to liberate what's keeping Dom from helping, and while the clock's ticking. It all ends with some of the most ludicrous action scenes where they fire a missile at Dom's car, and he of course revs it up Batmobile style because he's got a jet engine in the back because it's in the snow and all in Siberia, and he jumps over
the missile,
a submarine that's come up from the ice.
Oh.
And it hits the submarine, and he's got this.
Jesus
defies
Christ.
description. Physics dead and gone. Don't even think about it.
Wow.
So, but like every one of their movies, after the first scene or so, if you're okay with the way the physics is not, you're great for the movie. If you just want a popcorn ride that's enjoyable, has some characters you still like,
Yep.
It is a good time. I'm going to give it 2 shots of Kraken. It is a little rough at points. It is definitely back down off that peak that they had, that 5 and 6 peak. 7 was a little down. This is a little down from 7.
Okay.
But still enjoyable. I suggest watching it. I think that Hobbs and Shaw is a better movie afterwards, so at least it goes back up a little bit.
That's good.
And I'm looking forward to see what they do with the series. They got at least a 9 coming. They may do some more spin-offs. I mean, Hobbs and Shaw was a pretty big hit.
Yeah.
And The Rock and Jason Statham together is worth watching.
Sure.
I just hope they use Vin Diesel right, because Vin Diesel does not make a good sympathetic bad guy. I think he'd make a good bad guy. He makes a good hero because he's got a lot of charisma. But I think he needs to be reined in a little bit. You can't let him make too many decisions. His ego gets a little ahead of him, I think.
Makes sense. Well, I'll tell you, I haven't watched a lot of movies recently, John. I have usually when I get time to consume some media, I have been watching YouTubes, or when Melinda and I are together, we've been watching Veronica Mars. And I'm not going to sit here and do a review of Veronica Mars right at this point in time, because I got a little bit of a sour taste in my mouth from the 4th season that was made exclusively for Hulu.
Okay.
And because it wasn't great, but the rest of the series is okay. But where was I going with this? But I have watched a whole lot on of movies. I did watch one movie recently that is a little bit different than what you would expect maybe to hear about on Painting with Ben Off John. It was a bit of I don't want to say a romantic comedy, but it did have a bit of a fantasy angle to it, and it was called Yesterday. And Yesterday was a movie that was basically takes the premise that, let's say there's this thing that happens that all of a sudden the Beatles never existed as a band. And so all their music never got written, but this one person made it through and remembered it, and he happened to be a musician. And it tells a story of how this guy basically realizes that the Beatles have never, and he tries to be a performer, but he realizes that the Beatles have never existed and nobody knows what their music is, so he remembers all their music and starts releasing it on his own. And he rises to superstardom, and it's very well done. And it has a very, the fact that he is a sham eventually catches up to his conscience. He's a good person in general. He's just riding the tide of it. And I don't want to give it all away, but it's very well done. I'd say, if you're looking for a movie you can sit down and watch with your honey, it's a pretty good movie to sit down and watch with your honey. If you like the music of the Beatles, you'll enjoy the living hell out of it. The Beatles are amongst my least favorite bands. They're just not for me. I recognize them. I respect them. They're just not for me. But I thought it was a decent enough movie. So anyway, I'll give it.
I saw previews and thought it was interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give it a shot of Kraken. Because just a little something, a little bit of a little bit of mother's milk there during the course of the movie. Never can't hurt a damn thing.
So, you know what else I'm watching? I think unless you got something else, we could end on this.
Yeah, let's end on this.
I've been watching The Green Hornet, and no, I don't mean the movie. I couldn't finish that.
No.
The second time, I watched it once all the way through and reviewed it. It's in the archive somewhere.
Yeah.
No, this is the series The TV series.
The original one with Bruce Lee?
Yes.
Oh, I'll be damned.
There's a guy on eBay who sells Blu-ray copies, and obviously they're not exactly Blu-ray copy, but they are pretty much as good as you'd expect a series from like 1966 to be.
Yeah. That was at the same time as the original Batman series, wasn't it?
Yep, they even have a crossover. Those are on the disc somewhere. I have to get to them.
I remember that.
And I enjoy it. They don't waste time with bullshit origin stories or any of that. They ain't got time for that shit. You know who the Green Hornet is. If you don't, why the hell did you tune in to the Green Hornet?
Ain't nobody got time for that shit.
Yeah, and you get it. Even if you didn't know, you get it to the first episode they aired. You get the idea that he's playing a villain, but he's actually a hero, and what he does, and it's just enjoyable. Is it like great, the top notch? No, it's not great, but it's enjoyable. Not quite maybe as high concept as something like Star Trek was, but it's very enjoyable, very good. Early in, Bruce Lee's not getting a lot to do, but you can see his charisma when he's on there. Van Williams is a great lead.
Yep.
And
cool.
Just enjoyable. I'm a couple episodes in, and I'm enjoying the crap out of it. It was well worth the money, and I'm looking forward to finishing that.
Yep. Also, if you have Hulu and you're not watching Letterkenny, you suck. Watch Letterkenny if you have Hulu.
Do not have Hulu, and I do not know when I'll have time. I got to watch Stranger Things season 3, 1 season of Lost in Space, the end of season 1 of Jack Ryan, and then The Mandalorian.
Yep.
The Mandalorian.
Yeah, Disney Plus is coming.
Disney Plus immediately. And then, honestly, this is going to sound crazy. I want to watch Discovery, but I got to watch Picard.
Yeah.
I got to.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I tell you what, I don't know when this shakeout is going to happen between all these streaming services, but it's got to happen.
I mean, that's what it takes for me to actually want to pay money to CBS, because their streaming service is like $7 a month with fucking commercials. Fuck is that?
What? Yeah.
It's like $7 a month that has commercials in it. I don't know how much commercials.
Yeah.
But the fuck is that?
Yeah, that's no good.
$7 a month for no commercials? It's a little bit of a tough sell, but I mean, Discovery, the first season looks weird. I've heard told it's not very good Star Trek, but it's good sci-fi.
Okay.
The second season looks like great Star Trek.
Yeah, the first season was okay. I was able to watch it in Europe on Netflix.
Oh. Jelly.
I know. And it was pretty cool. And then it came back here and it's not on Netflix. And I was like, fuck.
Because the second season, I've seen some clips on YouTube and all. It looks legit as shit.
Cool. That's probably worth at some point subscribing to it just long enough to watch Discovery and Picard.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, we'll just burn through Discovery real quick. And I saw Picard, I'm like, I got to.
Yeah.
I mean, and who would have thought that 7 of 9 is going to be the most interesting and enduring character from fucking Voyager?
Yeah. Yep.
The person who was added just for TNA ended up having a great arc. People realize she's actually a good actress, and now she's the one showing back up that we're excited for.
Yeah. Oh, it's very exciting.
Makes sense, too, because Picard and his Borg history and her Borg history, I mean,
yeah.
I'm excited.
You absolutely are, and for good reason. So, probably look at that at some point in the near future, too. But, hey, you know what? On that note, buddy, we're going to call it a show.
Absolutely.
Folks, coming, JohnCon. Get on over here to the Painting with Ben Auth John Facebook site and subscribe if you're not, and make sure you're watching for it. I will try to Twitter all the socials I can and do all that kind of stuff, and we'll get on there and make sure that you got your PayPal ready to go. Make sure you know how to donate, and help us reach our goal. I mean, we're at $600 right now, and that's the money for the pre-sale for the tickets for the people who are coming, and we didn't make any money really off of T-shirts or anything this year because of reasons I already explained in the show. We don't have, we haven't had a lot of the pre-con type hype that we had in the past, but you know what? I'm betting we can do pretty darn good even without that. So, tune in. the Friday night RPG starting at 6:30 at night is the shiznat. You want to be there. That's where you're going to want to save your pennies and your nickels and your $20 bills, because good times are going to happen.
Yeah, it's going to be the most interactive. It's going to be awesome. Yep. Are we trying to podcast next Wednesday, or I have a feeling you might be a little busy finishing stuff up? So
I don't think we'll podcast next Wednesday, but I will let you know for sure, John. Watch this space. But
you know me, I'm always ready.
I know you are.
Ready for you,
I know you are, man. You're the best ever. Well, here we go. I'm going to transition over here, and ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of John and I, this is your Wednesday night addiction. A little bit of echo probably coming through right now because I've got the desktop audio on. But hey, on behalf of Mr. John Spencer, I'm Menoff John. We'll see you for JohnCon, November 8th, 9th, and 10th. Be here. Give me your money.
Good night, all.
Good night, everybody.